Hello, brothers and sisters, strangers, friends, whoever might be watching these YouTube videos. I certainly thank you for stopping by. This is Jericho here. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and certainly invite others to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I certainly appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, comments, questions, concerns. I appreciate all of them, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We're talking about 1977. We're talking about a prediction that this alleged end time prophet made concerning everything coming to a screeching halt by the end of 1977 and ushering in the millennium, as spoken of in the book of Revelation. As I stated, I became familiar with William Branham's name and his ministry in 1965. I was 9 years old. My stepdad began to incorporate into his theology the messages of William Branham. And I will say that there are many things that he spoke about that was true, but there's also some highly questionable issues that he dealt with, as well as things that have been proven completely false. If you don't know anything about William Branham, you can find just about anything out there on the internet, both pro and con. Some people think he was Jesus Christ. Some people think he was the devil. I'll leave that final decision to God Almighty. The only thing I can judge is the fruit of his ministry, whether it be good or whether it be evil. But in my earlier years, I had no idea of what his ministry was really all about. And so after coming back from Michigan, this prediction of 1977 was everywhere. It was across the nation and around the world. And even though he would say, now don't you go out and say, Brother Branham said that Jesus Christ was coming back in 1977. He said, I never said that, and I'm not going to say that. However, as you've heard me say, he was a master at wordplay. He toyed with words. And so the thing that just threw everybody off, even though he said, don't go and say that Brother Branham said Jesus Christ was coming back in 1977, even though he said that, and even though he said this is not a prophecy but a prediction based upon events that are leading up to the end, along with divine inspiration. That's the quote that really began to throw everybody off. So they ran with it. They ran with the 1977 prediction as though it was a prophecy because of how he mixed those two words together. Events that are taking place plus along with divine inspiration. You can see why people got caught up into that, because if it was linked to divine inspiration, then something must be going on. And then in that same paragraph, he said, though Jesus said, no man knoweth the day or the hour, he did not say, now watch him very carefully. See, this is where wordplay comes in. He toyed with words. I'll repeat it. He said, even though Jesus said, no man knows the day or the hour, he did not say that you couldn't know the week, the month, or the year. And he just left it like that. So the implication, the strong implication was that he knew the year to be 1977. So you take that statement where Jesus didn't say you couldn't know the week, the month, or the year, and you link that with events leading up to the end of the world, along with divine inspiration. Then you also connect those statements into his statement about how to maintain his prediction for 30 years, that as God dealt with Israel for 1954 years, God will deal with the Gentiles the same amount of time, 1954 years, of which I said in a previous video, he took 1954 years of Gentile time and added it from 33 AD, which if you add 1954 years to 33 AD, it's not 1977, but 1980. For some strange reason, nobody caught that, or if they did, It never surfaced to the public. Maybe somebody did question that. Maybe someone did challenge that. But one thing for sure, it was not made known. So, at the age of 17 years old, having no self esteem, no confidence in anything, because I had been beat down so much in my life, and I still had this certainty that God hated me. And so I thought, well, if the world's going to come to an end, I guess I need to get married and try to make things right. If by chance God would have mercy on me and I could make it through the pearly gates. So because I was naive, I had no self-esteem, I had no confidence. I bottomed out, folks. I got sucked into this vacuum of a cult, and there I was. So fast forward, I became part of the church, became part of the ministry, and away we go. But here's what happened. 1977 came and went. And you know what? Not a thing happened. You would think that ministers would be bold enough, Christ-like enough, to stand up and say, you know what? We brought you people under a false assumption. We got you worked up over nothing. They couldn't stand behind the pulpits and say, well, as sincere as William Branham was, he was wrong. To say that William Branham is wrong in any way, shape, or form is a cardinal sin. It's the ultimate blasphemy. And that's what I come to understand later on. Here I am, sucked into this thing. I don't know any different. This is all I know. So I began to play the drums in the church. I became the song leader, the worship leader, and then I began to minister. And here I was, right smack in the middle of this cult that was getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Until finally, one day, one of the main deacons there in the church on a Sunday afternoon, he said he had something he wanted to share with the congregation, that God had revealed to him that Ted Lewis, who was my stepdad, the pastor of that church, Ted Lewis was like Micah, the minor prophet, and William Branham was like Elijah, the major prophet. And these were the two ministries that God's people would hear. By this time, I had already seen so many strange, goofy things. I thought, oh boy, it's really winding up now. And after the deacon went on for about, 20 minutes, a half hour, exhorting the people to get behind Micah the minor prophet. In fact, he said, Micah the minor prophet is here. Oh my gosh. Ted Lewis stepped to the pulpit, and in his most dramatic, humble voice, and he could really turn it on, he said, well, what was said today, don't let it go outside of these four walls, because people won't understand. And he was right. Nobody did understand because there wasn't any truth to it. And we're going to pick that up in the next video. So until next time, God bless. Protect your freedom. And folks, Jesus Christ is the only way, the only truth, and the only life.